Today is January 27th, 2016. Another trade recap. I know I keep saying I'm going to do these more often, but I'm really trying. Did a webinar for Investors Underground yesterday. Really enjoyed it. So I enjoy doing these videos. I just never. I seem to get so dialed in during the trading day that once 4 o'clock rolls around, I'm just ready to bail. But anyway, I'm looking to get committed to do it. So only traded FIT today, which wasn't on my watch list. But, I had a lot of these oil and gas plays, and I just have gotten to the point where I'm just annoyed and sick of dealing with them. Several times almost shorted KMI, kind of in this midday thing, and it would have worked. It's just, I don't know. I really get annoyed by stuff that's tied to a commodity like oil or whatever, and it's a real company. I decided just to ignore them today, even though I had them all on watch. And in hindsight, I'm basically probably glad I did. I mean, obviously the 2 o'clock FOMC pretty much tanked everything, so there's a good chance it probably just would have went sideways. The other one, SUNE, is a perpetual watch for me. I saw this at this kind of 115 area, almost shorted several times. Then I knew the 2 o'clock meeting was coming up, so I just said no. I'm not going to enter anything 15 or 45 minutes before the FOMC meeting, get squeezed out in some spike, and then regret it. So nothing really happened here. You can see it's just chop, chop, chop. Ideally, some sort of big move tomorrow, but if it keeps doing this crap, I'm just going to ignore. NXTD, you get this pull out of the gate, but no volume. It's tough for me to trade that. CAPN, several times, almost hit this early, but I missed this. I saw this kind of 170 area, and again, it was thin. Excuse me. I had an alert at 2, but I was eating breakfast, doing something else in this spike. By the time I got back around 8, it already pulled a little bit, and it just, again, it just wasn't in much volume or anything, so not that interesting. WTW came real close. You can see I've got a 1501 alert, which I did that because I had an order sitting at 15. Tricky, annoying stock. I only wanted into a big spike. I mean, if I could have got some at 15, I would have been happy. But, this 1450 level, 14 level, I mean, sure, there's 50 cents of downside and stuff, but still pretty much glad I passed on that. VHC was sideways, so let's get to the one I actually traded. FIT. I'm very bearish on this thing, like a lot of guys. I just don't, it's down so much, and it's like Apple. I don't know if it makes sense, but my thought process was, what is the best consumer electronics company in the universe? Apple. Okay, Apple's down big today. I said, and everybody thinks eventually FIT's going to really tank, really pull. So I thought, as long as Apple keeps fading, I'll short FIT, and that's my trade of the day, because nothing else was that interesting. I started at, I believe, 1670 in here. Let it spike a little bit, and then re-added, I believe, in the 1680s. I should just bring up the... Oops. Let me get there. So I started at 1670, added in the 1680s, and then at that point, we're coming up on the 1 or 2 o'clock level. I didn't really want to add any more. I was happy with my size. After the announcement, pulled hard, and then I just, the market was falling apart. I wasn't really looking to get too aggressive because the goal was to hold this for a big wash through 16 and then cover into that. So I didn't want to get too big size-wise. I was happy with what I had, basically a half position. And as long as it faded all day, I'll just let it ride. was doing other things. This afternoon from the 2 o'clock to 3:30, I was mainly just kind of dicking around. But I'd checked this on my phone; it was kept working, so I'm like, I'll just let it ride. Covered into a itty bitty little spike, I think at 16.12. But the market was bouncing a little bit at that point. I was up close to 70 cents a share. That's a nice day trade. I mean, yeah, I wanted $1 plus a share. Wanted that 16 wash for a real, capitulation. But I covered into this on the SPY, and it's like, okay, we're down so much. Is it going to grind back? So, in closing, a real solid day. I did not. What I liked the most is I didn't try and fight anything. I just made the decision early that even though I had all these oil and gases on watch, I wasn't going to trade them. And I took I had a plan on fit and committed to it and stuck with it. And then when it didn't yank hard through 16, I covered for a solid profit and no overnight risk. And I can move on and have a clean slate tomorrow. So thanks a lot.